Hey everyone, we are doing North Atlanta, Georgia versus Montclair, New Jersey today. So, hey, Marielle Vanaken, Sue Jennings. Today we're going to talk about the differences in pros and cons of living in Montclair, New Jersey versus North Atlanta. And Sue's going to be mostly talking, and we're going to show some properties that are comparable in Montclair versus North Atlanta. And she's going to tell us all the details on cost of living. So let's dig right in. Let's go, Sue.
Hi, Mary Ellen. So today we're talking about Montclair, New Jersey, and it's often called the Brooklyn of New Jersey. It's a highly sought after area. It's artsy. It's a vibrant town with a walkable downtown area, which everybody loves. It has its own theater and it has its own art scene.
Nice.
It's a fantastic place to live, it's really desirable, and it has great New York City rail access, something that we lack a little bit here in Atlanta, to be perfectly honest. But what it does is it has pushed the cost of living in the Montclair area sky high. What Mary Ellen and I do, is we help families every day trade the high cost of living from areas like Montclair, New Jersey, with a comparable price tag to the North Atlanta area and the luxury and the financial benefits that you can achieve in the North Atlanta area. Living in Montclair, you're dealing with a premium cost of living. You know, there's a high monthly cost, especially with those property taxes in New Jersey, compared to what we have in North Atlanta. Even though they've got 7 different train stations for your New York City commute, there's a cost associated with that as well.
Yes.
As opposed to, maybe living in closer to your office or being walkable to your office or even just driving to your office. So what does your $10,000 a month budget in Montclair look like compared to Georgia? So let's get into the numbers and see how much a move to the North Atlanta could save your family. So stick around to the end of this podcast, because we're going to show you several homes here in the North Atlanta area and what you can get compared to this home that Mary Ellen's about to talk about in Montclair. And this home, Mary Ellen, give us a little bit about this, and then I'll tell you about the average median home in Montclair. Yeah.
It's such a cute home. It's 4 bedrooms, 3 baths. It's 9 Windermere Road in Montclair, New Jersey. And it just really it's really done nicely. I mean, look at this house. Just so cute. And I would want to live there too. I mean, but I'm sure the taxes would just, they'd be a little high for you as well as, and they actually have a little mudroom. Look at that. See that? It has a mudroom. And they're, so this, not a lot of property, not a big garage, and not a ton of outdoor space. But you know what? This is actually really kind of cute. So what you're going to get in North Atlanta compared to this, we will show you in a while. And see that thing called snow that you see on the ground right now? We don't really have that. So that's a plus right there. So actually, I just kind of wanted to show you that, the little thing called snow there. But that's $899, cute property. Great location, has some snow. So yes, we do have the 4 seasons here in North Atlanta, winter, spring, summer, and fall. And, everything's just a little shorter. It does get a little chilly, but we have really nice, mild winters.
So in Montclair.
Let's go back to Montclair.
In Montclair, the average or median home price is about $825,000. Okay. Most of these homes are older. There's a real demand for larger homes there because so many homes up in the Northeast are smaller.
Yes.
But there are a lot of homes in the Montclair area that are $1 million plus, and there are some multifamily properties as well in the Montclair area. Like we said, Montclair's known, as well as a lot of the rest of New Jersey and so forth, for its high property taxes. Taxes can run you between $15,000 to $20,000 pretty easily for a home in that $800,000 price range. That's a massive fixed cost expense for a lot of these homeowners, as compared to a modern home with lower maintenance costs and so forth, lower, heating and cooling perhaps in the North Atlanta area. Like up in Montclair, for instance, a large suburban home with your monthly utilities will run you, about $250 to $380. Due to the architecture, many of the historic homes, utility bills can go even higher than that, especially in the winter months when heating costs are at their peak. We talked a little bit earlier about transportation. Montclair has the luxury of 7 New Jersey Transit train stations. So it's a major commuting hub from Montclair. The insurance costs are high in New Jersey. They can run you anywhere from, this is for your car, $180 to $250 a month. The monthly rail pass into Manhattan is a huge fixed expense at about $300 to $450 a month. If you are buying groceries or dining out, you can expect to spend $850 to $1,100 per month for groceries for a family of 4. They do have the large grocery store chains similar to what we have here. Whole Foods is very popular here as it is in Montclair. There are some other organic markets both there and here as well, so that's pretty equal. Dining there runs you about $70 to $120 per person, depending upon where you're eating. And childcare for your infant or toddler, preschooler, runs you between $1,700 to $2,400 a month in Montclair. Mm-hmm. And private schools range between $18,000 to $30,000 a year. The public schools in Montclair, to be perfectly honest, are highly rated. So they're excellent schools, and there is a vibrant culture there. And that's a key to why a lot of the housing costs are so high up there. So, Mary Ellen, let's show some equivalent homes here in the price range, that is, in the North Atlanta area.
So what we're going to do is we're going to show some properties in, the North Atlanta area. But what I want to also say is taxes in the North Atlanta area, like, look, you could get this house here for $825,000. And basically this is 4805 Shelburne Drive, and that's in Cumming, which is a little north of Alpharetta. It's 5 bedrooms, 4 full baths. It's 3,892 square feet. So let's just kind of look at this house. You have a nice 2-car garage. You have some property. You don't have snow, right? You don't have snow. And you have a property that is not built in the 60s or the 70s or the 80s.
This one was built in 2009, by the way.
Yes. So I mean, yes, it's not totally updated to a new construction in Atlanta, but it does do its purpose. And you're getting a lot of square footage. And to heat and air, take care of this house, it's going to cost a little bit more money than a smaller house in New Jersey. But, you do have that nice backyard and place for the kids. And you have, this is what you have that you don't get a lot in New Jersey, is you have a nice community. You've got a swim tennis community. Look at the pool there that the kids can play on. You've got tennis courts, pickleball courts, and all kinds of fun things. It's really a lifestyle here. So I think that's what's really important as you see things is that it's a lifestyle, Mm-hmm. So that's what you see there. We'll show another one, which is so interesting that they showed, is 6710 Pippin Way in Alpharetta, 835, 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, 2888. This is a townhouse. It's on 0.13 acres, so it's a townhouse with 2 garages. It's $395 monthly, built in 2022.
Right. And now this townhouse is in Halcyon, Mary Ellen. So this is a live, work, play community. For those of you that are not familiar with Halcyon, you can walk, all through the community from Halcyon. You can walk to restaurants, shops, entertainment. It's a lifestyle.
Yeah, and I'm sad we don't have some more pictures of it, but it is a townhouse, 3-level townhouse, and it's in a work play community, which is really nice. And we're going to show one more just so that you guys can see. It's 40252 Lane in Cumming, 828,800, 5 bedrooms, 4 full baths, 4,062 square feet. built in 2012, 0.29 acres, 3-car garage, 1,500 annually. It's in a subdivision called Marcel, and it's just really, really kind of a nice neighborhood. And you're getting a lot of square footage. Mm-hmm. You're in the suburbs.
That's a very nice neighborhood, Mary Ellen. I've sold homes in Marseille before. It's got a great location as far as, getting down into Alpharetta very quickly, getting to grocery shopping. And also there's a lot of, employers, in that area and just south of there in the Alpharetta area.
And it's really funny because the pictures are not coming through here, but honestly, you can see this is a really big house. So you're going to get more house for your money in Atlanta. So let's dig into expenses in the North Atlanta area.
So here's the breakdown of what someone that is thinking about moving to the North Atlanta area should know about the cost of living, including taxes, utilities, transportation, groceries, dining, childcare, school, and any other common expenses. Overall, living in Atlanta is slightly more expensive than the rest of the state of Georgia. But overall, the average cost of living is slightly below or near the U.S. national average. Housing and rent tend to be your biggest variable when you live here. That's your biggest expense, especially in the desirable, well-located suburbs. Georgia's base sales tax is 4%, but local jurisdictions can layer their own percentage on top of that. Mm-hmm. So it depends upon where you are, but taxes could go up above 8%, depending upon where you're shopping. Property taxes vary by county. In Fulton County, they're about 1.09%. That's the effective property tax rate. In Gwinnett County, they're about 1.3%. And other counties, such as Forsyth County, where Cumming is located, is a little bit less expensive. Some of the other counties like Gwinnett and Forsyth also offer a greater senior discount than Fulton does, although Fulton has now started as of 2026 with a staged in, so to speak, senior tax discount. We can talk about that on another podcast. But anyway, utilities are considered to be moderately priced here. They are not cheap, but they're also not the highest among other metropolitan areas in the U.S. If you do use public transportation, and there's not much of it here.
There is not much. That is the big, yes. That is one of the big downers, though, that it is nothing, coming from the north. I'm from New York. I'm a Long Island girl. Going on the train and getting to work in the city and you being from Philly area, it is just nothing. So when people say, oh, I want to go on the public transportation in Atlanta, I go, that's your car and you drive everywhere in your car and there's a ton of traffic. Fun times in Atlanta.
So it's about $95 a month if you want a MARTA pass, and good luck with that. So,
hey, we don't sugarcoat anything. We're going to tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly about every area. So I think that that's important because there's a lot of people out there that they sugarcoat, they make it seem so great, but no, traffic stinks here. It's terrible. And you're not going to be walking anywhere. There's a couple walkable neighborhoods. They're starting to get more, but like 10 years ago, there was none, right? So they're really starting to come in with times. We've got a lot of downtown areas that you can live, work, and play, which is great. But still, you got your kids in soccer, you got them in dance, you got them in equestrian or whatever you have them in. You're in the car and you're driving around and you're going to be in traffic no matter what. So
this is why one of the very first questions I ask my relocating buyers is, well, where will you be working?
Yes.
And then we start from there. And it's really not because I'm nosy about your job. It's because I want to give you a life once you come here that is enjoyable and not, spending, a huge commute in the car.
But I will tell you that a lot of these companies down here in Atlanta, like Home Depot and Coca-Cola and stuff, like in their offices, they have gyms, they have massages, they it's a lifestyle when you go to work too. So it's really interesting. So depending on where you're working, it's just really kind of interesting. There's a lot of lifestyle at work as well as at home.
So anyway, Groceries and dining here in the North Atlanta area. Groceries in Atlanta tend to track around the U.S. national average, maybe a hair higher. I don't find groceries to be particularly expensive here. And we do have great grocery stores here. Publix and Kroger are your general ones, and then we have Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, Sprouts, and some of the smaller
and you have Costco and BJ's. Okay, everybody wants to know where a Costco is. That's a question we get asked a lot.
I get asked, I want to live within a certain distance of Home Depot and Lowe's too.
Me too. So those are interesting.
We take all of that into consideration when we help you find a home here. But a rough guideline for an average monthly grocery bill might be $300 to $500 per adult, depending upon your diet, your buying habits, your family size, and so forth. Dining out's generally very reasonable here. Atlanta's a foodie town. We've got a lot of great restaurants, so it really depends upon what type of food you're looking for and where you go. You know, you can go to a casual restaurant and spend $15 to $20 per person, or you can go maybe to a really nice restaurant and spend $60 to $90, per person in a really nice venue. So you can get nice dining very reasonably here. And, that's really interesting because a lot of the people that do relocate here come from higher cost states such as California and Texas, New York, and so forth. And so that's of a lot of interest to them. So anyway, the other thing that people always ask us about is public schools. How are they funded? They're funded by our taxes, so there's no direct tuition for the public schools. Property taxes can vary though, depending upon what area you're in, because some of the schools are a little bit stronger in some of the parts of the North Metro Atlanta area than others. So it might feel like a free education to some of these families moving from other states. Private schools, they're all over the place here. You've got your options, your choices. Preschool can run you about $1,400 a month, and your private schools can run you starting at $12,000 on up to $18,000 or so, depending upon what type of education you want for your child and where that's located. Mary Ellen, tell us a little bit about healthcare in the North Atlanta area.
Yeah, so healthcare, it seems like there's healthcare on every block around here. We have the Shepherd Center, which is amazing. We have Northside Hospital. We have, Emory. We have so many areas. And even if you're in the suburbs, your hospitals and your doctor's offices are going to be so close. And it's so interesting because we've seen Atlanta really grow. And just like I was at my dermatologist and they're like, remember, 15 years ago, we had 2 offices. Now we have 10 offices all around the Atlanta area. There's so many people moving down here and it's demanding the healthcare. And the one thing about all of these places is that they're pretty new. When you're in the North, they're older buildings and older, they're going to have the technology and stuff, but we're starting a lot of these places brand new that's why people are coming to here for certain things. I know people come from all over the world to the Shepherd Center, if they need that. Anybody, whether you're having a baby or whether you're going through cancer treatments or whether you have a brain injury or whatever you have, you're going to have that here. And the same thing with up north. So I don't know that there's really any comparison, pros and cons. The only thing I would say is that the buildings are newer, but that's about it, right? Do you agree, Sue?
Right. I do find that I don't pay to park as frequently here.
Yes.
Like if you go to the local hospital, it's free to park at the local hospital, where up in the Philadelphia area, even in a suburban hospital, you always had to pay to park, which I thought was really interesting.
So I would say that would be probably one of the only between having an older building, maybe I'd say, but there is so much healthcare around here. So I think, all right, what else do we have to talk about? Anything else?
Well, I wanted to add one more thing in there that is a surprise to a lot of people moving to the North Atlanta area. And Mary Ellen touched on it briefly earlier, but I just wanted to circle back to it. It's HOAs. So because we have a lot of newer construction neighborhoods here that have amenities such as a pool, maybe tennis courts, a playground, pickleball courts, all of that for the community or the neighborhood of that subdivision, there are generally HOA fees here on a monthly basis. These fees can run you, give or take around $300 a month at worst case maybe, but it is something that sometimes is a surprise to the people moving down from up north, because in New Jersey you generally don't have HOA fees in your neighborhoods because they're older, they're established, and they don't have the pools and the tennis courts right there in the neighborhood. So
that's a
it's
big
just something to
adjustment.
consider.
Yeah, it's a big adjustment when you're moving
Right.
here. And then people are like, well, I don't want to be on in an HOA. And then they're like, well, I don't like anything in that price point. I'm like, well, because I would say, what would you say? Maybe 70, 80% of subdivisions have an HOA, or even more.
They do. And what's nice is, I'll get people that are moving down from up north and they'll say, well, I want a pool in my backyard. Well, you really don't need your own pool in your backyard because it's in your subdivision. And, if you have a pool and you pay for like monthly maintenance on your pool, you can expect to pay about $250 a month just for the pool maintenance. You can pay $250 for your HOA. It's the same, trade-off. You don't have to worry about maintaining the pool in your own backyard as far as, additional costs for repairs. Plus, you get the additional advantage of having maybe tennis courts or pickleball courts or a playground for your kids to play on, plus the social aspect of living in the HOA. So they're really not a bad idea.
So I think in conclusion, if you're looking to move to the area or if you need help in Montclair, we have agents all around the world that can help you. And if you want a relocation guide or you want a discovery call with us, just reach out to us with the link below. We have our relocation guide below there, and we're just happy to help you, and we're happy to give you information. So whether you're coming from New Jersey or you're coming from anywhere in the world, we can help you in the North Atlanta area. And if you just want some advice, and let us know, and we can help you. We can show you exactly what you can get for your money down here. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a great day.